We're here talking with Dr. Shelby Eichens and Dr. Craig Krisman, family physician and pediatrician, about pediatric issues and when to bring your kid in when they're sick. Shelby, let's talk about that very newborn baby. When do you know to bring the child in for examination?
For newborns, they really don't have a lot of reserve. They don't show a lot of symptoms, so the biggest thing you're going to find is that their fevers are going to be elevated. So I tell all my moms and dads with newborn babies, anybody with a temp over 100.4, we want to see them.
100.4, and that's the clue. Or if something else is happening? Primarily a fever.
Primarily fever, but also if they're having, if they're not eating, moderate amount of diarrhea, if they're having a lot of coughing or respiratory issues like that.
Bring them in.
Bring them in.
So is that the same story if they're 3 months old or older, Craig?
Yeah, the rules change after 3 months of age. We don't necessarily need to see everyone who has a fever. Then we try to teach parents to look at their child, and if they're acting ill, they need to be seen. If they have any signs of dehydration, then they probably should be evaluated. But that child with 101 fever that's running around playful is not necessarily one that needs to be seen in the office. But if their temperature is 98 and they're just laying on the bed and not doing anything, those are the ones that are more likely to have a serious medical problem.
So you're saying that it isn't so much the temp, it's really how they're acting.
That's what we try to teach parents. America has fever phobia. You know, they think that all fever is bad, and actually fever is part of the natural body's defense against an infection. And so if the child is running around and playful, they probably don't even need Tylenol or Motrin to bring down the fever.
Leave the fever to let it do its good work.
That's correct.
Right. We'll be back in just a minute. We're back talking with Dr. Shelby Eichens and Dr. Craig Krisman, a family physician and pediatrician, on what to do with bringing in your kids. So let's talk about the whole idea. When do you bring your children in? I know that there are some people who bring their kids in all the time, and it's unnecessary. And then there are some who don't bring them in enough. What is the primary clue for all children in general? Shelby.
You know, first of all, if their fevers have been a 101 and they're going on day 3, day 4, then that's probably a sign that there's something there that needs to be treated or at least looked at. There again, if they're having any respiratory issues, that's a sign to come in. If they're laying there not doing anything, then those are signs to bring your children in.
Bottom line, Craig.
Bottom line is parents know their own children, and if they're not acting right, I always say I'd rather see them in the office than sit at home with a sick child.
Well, thank you both for joining us.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And thank you. Until next time, stay healthy out there, people.